Hello, my name is Avon Chloiak, and today I'm going to be talking about my career shadowing experience at the Greenville Humane Society in Greenville, South Carolina. So, in this clip, you can see an overview of the entire building of the Humane Society. We were able to tour the entirety of it at the end of our shadowing experience. However, during our experience with the veterinarian, we spent the majority of our time working in the vet medical center. So the first area that we spent some time in was the pharmaceutical area, and this had a lot of the different drugs and medicines that the animals in the Humane Society needed. And we were able to see a technician take an ear swab from a cat that had ear mites, and we were able to look at it under a microscope, which was super interesting. And also, we got to go over the different treatment options for ear mites with the technician. And luckily, the day that we visited and were able to shadow the veterinarian was the day that the Humane Society does spays and neuters on these animals that are brought in, as well as spay and neuters for the local public in Greenville. And so we were able to observe several different spays and neuters throughout the short time that we were there. And we also got to learn about the anesthesia process that the technicians usually perform before these animals are brought into surgery. And so in this image, you can see a picture of a neuter that was performed on a dog, which was one of the ones that we observed. And the veterinarian that we worked with was Kelly Grisham, and she studied at the University of Georgia, which is currently my top vet school that I'm considering. And so it was really interesting to talk to her about her experience there and kind of what opportunities she was provided with and achieved past vet school. And it was really interesting to see these surgeries on a regular day. And also there were two other veterinarians that worked there that were also performing spays and neuters at the same time. And in their surgical room they had 3 tables, so they were kind of just going back and forth with performing these surgeries. And that was a really interesting aspect of work of the Humane Society for me, because over the summer when I shadowed a veterinarian, they had only one surgical room with one surgical table, and usually one vet worked during one specific day on surgeries, or 2 depending on the schedule. So that was really interesting to me. I think it was really cool seeing them all kind of work together, and they were all able to just kind of chat with each other and just kind of work together on helping these animals. And additionally, the Humane Society does other surgeries as well on these animals that come in, depending on if they need it. So Kelly Grisham was telling us about how a lot of these animals usually need like toe amputations or just different surgeries to kind of repair the injuries that they go through on the streets or as a stray animal. And so I think that was really interesting to me, and this was kind of my first experience in like shelter medicine, so that was really interesting to me. So we observed the surgeries for about an hour and a half, and then the technicians taught us how to administer vaccines in cats, which none of us had ever done that before. So it was a really fun opportunity to have hands-on experience with them and learn kind of a really advanced skill. And so the technicians taught us the different vaccines that we were giving them and what they do to the body, and how to safely insert the needle and the syringe in the cat's body to get the vaccine in them, and where to dispose it. And then we were fortunate enough to get a tour of the facility and the other areas of it that we didn't work in. And so these puppies were brought in and they were newly born, and so they were kind of isolated in a kennel with their mothers to kind of get the bonding experience with them and allow them to get safely evaluated before interacting with other animals. And then these kittens were brought in, and I think they were newly brought in, and so they were kind of getting some isolation time. And there were also other different isolation areas for animals with parvo or other contagious diseases that could spread to the other animals. And we saw the cleaning process that goes through with them too, because there were several different workers that were suited up and had every skin of their body covered to prevent getting the disease themselves. And so they were scrubbing, there was soap everywhere and all this different cleaner. And they explained to us that they go through this cleaning process at least once a day to prevent the spread of these diseases to not only the humans but also the different animals within the Humane Society. And there was also an adoption center, because the Humane Society offers adoption centers, and people can go into individual rooms and kind of, interact with these animals. And there's also a laundry room and an outdoor area that the animals can go out to during the day to kind of get some outdoor experience and kind of just run around. Shadowing experience was a really fun opportunity for me to shadow other veterinarians and learn more about their experiences, as well as learn more about the shelter and humane society medical field. Prior to this, I had little to no knowledge about the shelter medicine field, as well as kind of the day-to-day life of what a veterinarian that works in that field does. And so it was really interesting working with Dr. Kelly Grisham and learning about her life and her different experiences within this medical field. And I hope to definitely shadow her or potentially work with her again. She was a really wonderful veterinarian, and it was really fun to see all the different surgeries and especially learn how to vaccinate a cat, which was something I'd never done before. And so I didn't go into this experience thinking I would do that, which was really rewarding. And also learning more about the shelter medicine field was really interesting to me, and I could definitely picture myself potentially working in that field in the future, because it's really sad to see what these animals go through from being abandoned or just simply living in the wild. And so I think it'd be really rewarding and enjoyable to kind of work these animals, rehabilitate them into a good life again and a good health condition, and kind of help bring them towards a wonderful family. So yeah, thank you for watching my video all about my shadowing experience at the Greenville Humane Society, and I hope to be back there one day again, whether it's for volunteering or just working, depending on, how things go. And yeah, thanks for watching.